So what first attracted you to start making YouTube videos?
Okay, so basically I watched a bunch of YouTubers and I watched the platform a little bit and I really enjoyed what they did. But then I was in love with a girl and she was in love with YouTubers, so I was like, I can be a YouTuber and then she'll love me. And it never worked. But then I enjoyed it so much that it was like, I was very internal as a person and I was very kind of bullied and didn't really enjoy my life, but YouTube allowed me to be like and crazy and confident, and so I carried on doing it because it made me happy and made me confident, so that's what did it.
What was your initial goal when you started YouTube?
In my first video I went, I'm going to get 100 subscribers and get a YouTube partnership and make lots of money. Which wasn't my real first goal, but I just wanted to have people like what I did, and I was already filmmaking, so I kind of thought this would be a way to sort of make a few people see my films or something like that. So that was my goal, was to do filmmaking eventually, and eventually it happened, so that's nice.
When did you first know you wanted to produce films?
Difficult. I watched The Ring, which is a horror film, when I was like 8, and I was obsessed over how, I was a messed up child, just like, oh no, Samara's coming through the door. I watched The Ring and I recreated it with a few friends once I got to secondary school, and I made Doctor Who episodes on a little Sony Handycam and a digital blue, which is a little rubbish camera where you could do basic special effects. And then when I was 8 or 9, I taught myself the software Adobe After Effects, and I just taught myself it when I was like 9 or something, like in school with the license at school and stuff like that. And I just sort of learned that way and just got obsessed with it. And so basically, by watching great stuff, not necessarily great stuff. The Ring's fine, but it's not like artistically the most beautiful thing in the world. But just watching stuff that I enjoyed and wanting to work out how they did stuff and how they did certain things. Like in After Effects, I tracked a Dalek in so that it sat in the scene right and didn't. When you moved the camera, the Dalek moved with it. Just little things like that, and going, oh wow, this is actually like, you don't have to have £1 million to do this. Anyone can do it. So that's what drew me to it.
Okay, do you still have the footage?
No, sadly I don't. I'll probably do somewhere. I made a load of films like on the digital blue, which I know are gone because it was a really old rubbish computer that got destroyed, I think. I have like, probably if I looked deeply through like attics and stuff, I could probably find some of it, which I probably will do one day. I have the first feature film I ever tried to make, and that was awful. It's called The Faces of Blood, and it was just terrible. It was a horror film about zombies, and I do still have all of that, and I have it all saved up on this hard drive that I keep. If I ever want to look back and see that I've at least improved, I go back and look at The Faces of Blood. So yeah.
How does this film compare to other films you produced in the past?
When I was about 15, I made a film called For the One I Adore, which was a short film about like depression and suicide. And I also made a film called The Way My Life Will Be, which is about being trapped in a situation and nobody helping you. And so that's very much the same as this film. So Arthur Braxton is about a very depressed boy who is stuck in a situation from which he cannot escape, and he just sort of fights to get through the day. The reason I love it is because it comes from my teenage sort of knowing that life is difficult. Being a teenager and growing up in this day and age is incredibly hard, and so it comes from my knowledge of that and my ability to relate to it.
So why this book in particular?
So a lot of reasons. Firstly, like I said just then, it's so perfect for me and like for what I went through growing up. And it's probably like an ultimate first world problem, but growing up's hard. Even in the first world, it's hard emotionally, and so that drew me to it massively because I really identified with the characters of Arthur specifically. There's also a character called Laurel who is abused by an older man, and I'm incredibly aware that happens so much. Like an awful amount, and that really hit home. That when I read it, I was like, this feels so real, and I wanted to make that into a film because I don't think it's done. I think Hollywood is sort of scared of going near these subjects because they don't sell well or whatever, but I think it's important for people to look at something, be able to know that other people go through that and not feel so alone, even though their situation's horrible. They don't feel alone, and also because Caroline also has believed in us so much. Like, we struggled so much, and you guys will probably know that like going into the business you want to go into, especially in the creative arts, is incredibly hard, and people don't believe in you to start off with, and you have to find someone who's willing to give you a chance. And Caroline was that to us. She really gave us like everything. Caroline and Sophie, the actress. So we are just so grateful, and that just makes it such a personal story and a personal project for us that we love everyone who's worked on it. And so yeah, that's why.
So do you feel like you're going to be able to produce it to what you feel Caroline's standard is?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we've been working on it so hard, and the guys working on it with me, some of who are behind us, are incredible. Josh is an incredible DOP, and he's so driven in terms of producing. He didn't even want to produce, but he was so good at it. He was doing little bits of it anyway, and so I sort of said to him, like, you're so good at this, and it would be a shame for you not to try and embrace that. Lex is BAFTA nominated. He was nominated for a short called... what's it called? Lex! I've completely blanked out. What's your short called about the BAFTA thing? Island Queen. Go on, damn it. Okay, yes, he was BAFTA nominated for a short called Island Queen, and Sophie's an incredible actress. She's so kind to us and so amazing, and I think I'm all right as well. So I just think the sheer amount of talented people working on this is just, I know it's going to be great, because that's all that matters, is talented people who like each other and get on and want to make something great. That's all that matters.
So, your genre of the Drowning of Arthur Braxton is different from your YouTube videos, though.
Yeah.
Was this a conscious decision?
Yes, completely. YouTube is interesting because I love it, and it's not like I'm pretending to be someone else. This is me. I'm like this. I mean, even in this interview, I'm being hyperactive, and it's who I am. It's entirely me on YouTube, but this is also entirely me in film. It's just different sides to yourself. Like, you'll have sides that you'll be with your friends, but you'll also have sides you'll be with your parents, or you'll have sides when you're on your own. And this is very much the whole theme of it. It's how I feel when I'm on my own, and when I'm feeling crap or rubbish, or like. Which everyone has. Everyone has a side to them that's internal, and so I really want to take those kind of feelings that everyone has and externalise them in the form of a film. Maybe it's like some kind of weird visual therapy for me, I don't know. But the style thing is conscious, yes, because I like to segment my life. So I have like YouTube where it's fun, it's silly, but I try and get serious messages in there. But it's silly and it's fun and it's light entertainment for people when they need something the most that's just fun and lighthearted, and they don't have to think about it, they just have fun. So that's what YouTube is for me. It's just when I want to have fun and when people have fun watching it. And then film, I think, is a totally different medium where you can get across really serious messages and really help people in a completely different way. Through it's like a cathartic moment when you see someone on screen go through something the same as what you're going through. So yeah, it was a conscious decision, just because they're two totally separate worlds, and I don't think my style of stuff would work on any other platform than YouTube, other than YouTube, but I don't think my film would ever work on YouTube either.
Do you feel that filmmaking is the way forward in your career?
Yeah, completely. I mean, I love YouTube completely, and I want to go into sort of more presenting as well, and I do a bit of voiceover work and stuff like that, so I really enjoy that. Filmmaking is what I obsess over. It's what I really obsess over every single day. I don't want to stop YouTube because it's, like I said, YouTube is my fun, it's my hobby. It might pay my bills or whatever, but it's my fun. And I love it for that reason. And so filmmaking is my work. And I wouldn't want YouTube to be my work. YouTube is the best thing ever, in my opinion. It's like, for our generation, it's incredible. And then filmmaking is my job, and I love it, but it's a job and it's a lot of hard work. But yeah, I think that's where my career is going or whatever. I don't really try and think about it like that because I don't care about the money. Like I said, I'm not being paid for this film. So, but in terms of what I want to do for the rest of my life, yeah, that's what it is.
So this film was funded through subscribers. Tell me a bit more about that.
Yeah. So we went through a process of trying to get funding the normal way, and it wasn't working out. And people were wanting giant cuts of the film and giant creative cuts and creative control and everything like that. And I was told, and I was convinced into the idea that there were a lot of people out there who would believe in this and who would want to help it happen. And so, if I could sort of convince them or show them that it was a thing I always wanted to do, because I've never asked much from my audience. I've made videos for 6 years and never really asked for anything, whereas there's YouTubers who are constantly shoving merch and books and stuff. I have merch, but I don't really push it. I turn down a book deal. I don't feel like I've ever asked for anything back. I mean, yeah, it's paid me or whatever, but I've never really asked for anything. And so we went down the crowdfunding route, and we were really nervous about it, and I was so convinced it wouldn't work. But it did, and it went really well, and it was just an incredibly humbling moment when I woke up the next morning and it was like 40% funded already, because it was just like, although I have like numbers on YouTube of 600,000 or whatever, I never really look at the number and think that there are people behind that who care and who like me. This is why events are so lovely, because it means there are actual physical humans who like me, and I didn't grow up with that, and so it's really nice to have that now. And so it was just a really humbling moment when 4,500 people went, yeah, I believe in him and I think he's going to do a good job. So yeah, that was amazing, and we raised £85,000, which is pretty good, pretty good.
So how do you feel the night's gone?
This, I mean, so I wasn't nervous, because I've done like quite a lot of stuff like this before, but the guys who were here with me, the producers, they've never done stuff like this, or at least Josh hasn't. And I think it's gone amazingly. I had a load of fun. Everyone seemed to be really grateful for it. I think it was a nice testing ground to see what people thought of changes we were making. Like, well, this is who we might cast, or this is the fact that we're making 2 films out of it. And we're like, wow, that's lovely, and it's nice that there is a group of like 150 people who really care about it, and who I can sort of let know little secrets about stuff and keep involved and meet them, which is lovely as well. So I think it's gone really well. I think it's been a really lovely evening, and I'd like to do a lot more of it, because this is what it's all about, meeting people and making people happy. Yes.
What was the main intention for tonight?
I don't know. Just meeting people and making people happy and seeing what they thought of the film and the book. I mean, Caroline sold a bunch of books, but we've not been paid for anything. We don't get anything from this other than just meeting people and seeing if they're excited for our film. That's literally it. I mean, there's not really much else to get out of it. I got free orange juice. But no, I mean, yeah, it's simply just there are a lot of people who believed in this film, and we want to meet them. And I mean, they might not have. People here might not have done that. I've done the Kickstarter thing, but they still believe in us enough to come along. And Caroline gets to give her book to 150 people, and they get to read it, and it's about spreading the message of the book, I suppose, and just having a nice evening. I'm only in this for having a good time, so yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to say in the panel that you didn't manage to say?
I wanted to discuss about changes you have to make when you make a film, because a book and a film are such different mediums. In a book you have 400 pages to explain little details about stuff, and it didn't really come up because not a lot of people had read the book, and so I didn't, because I'm like everyone, I hate it when people change stuff from a book to a film, but I also, one of the editors spoke to me and he said, the guy who's helping me write the screenplay, get it finished, he said to me, when you go and see a film, do you want it to just be exactly what you imagined in the book? And you sort of don't, do you? You're going to see a film. You go to see another. You don't want to be just told the same story again, because you already know the story. And so, like, that was a real moment where I was like, maybe it's okay to change a few things. And I kind of wanted to discuss that a little bit and see what people thought, because I know that it's a big stigma in film adaptations of books. But sometimes there's stuff in a book that just doesn't translate well into a film. And if you try and make it a carbon copy, you're going to make a bad film. And so that's something I wish I'd brought up, but didn't really get the chance because no one read the book. So, oh well.
So you said you've done events like this before.
Yeah.
How does this one differ from the ones you've done before?
This one was a lot more serious because it was about film. So I've done event panels like YouTube panels about being a YouTuber, or Q&A panels about me and about my friends and stuff like that. This one, there wasn't that. It wasn't about like I like this video or whatever, which is lovely, but I quite like being made to be serious sometimes, and I really enjoyed that, and I really liked being like put on the spot, like what would you call it, or what actors would you want, and things like that. It was really humbling that there are people who watch me on YouTube, but then have transitioned to caring about the films I want to make. And so that was different, but it was really nice because it meant maybe, I know that not every single one of my YouTube people will care about the film, but some of them will, and it was really lovely to see some of those people out here.
Are you planning on doing any more events like this?
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on if we get invited, really, because it costs quite a lot to do this stuff, because obviously we have to travel. So the guys travelled like 50 miles in their car. I had to get 2 trains from across in Essex, because I was away there for the week. So if we get invited, yeah, I mean, I'd love to do more. It's just about getting invited, really, and it means that even if it costs a little bit of money, it means that Caroline's book gets given to lots of people, which is really nice, and it'll be really lovely by the time we make the film, or by the time we finish making the film, that lots of people have read the book. So yeah, I would love to do some more.
And where do you see yourself in like 5 years' time?
5 years' time. Well, my company that I set up with Josh is called Firefly, and I see that my sort of goal with this film is all I care about is I can fund the next film and that I can fund a few other directors' films, because I really love the idea of like I've had a really nice opportunity here, and I want to give that to other people who I think are talented or have a lot of potential. So I want to basically, my sort of 5-year time thing would be, I'd still be doing YouTube definitely because I love it so much, but also building a company that sort of runs itself and that I sort of run and creatively play with and making more films. And also I quite like to do things that inspire new filmmakers as well, because I was growing up and I would crave DVD extras or like how they did this thing in this film, and filmmakers are quite hidden with that stuff. It's all a filmmaking secret, and I don't want to be that at all. I want to tell everyone how we did everything, and because there was a quote with Ed Catmull, who runs Pixar, and he said that when he was 5 or 10 or something, he just sat at the TV, and Walt Disney used to do videos on how they did everything in Disney films, and that inspired him to start Pixar, which is like the best film company ever, really. Yeah, that's definitely a goal, is basically to make a film company that inspires new filmmakers and helps new filmmakers do their thing and make more films and do YouTube and loads of other things. That's a lot of things to do with my life, isn't it?
So what is the ultimate dream?
I'd like to win a BAFTA, although that's not important. If people like the film, it doesn't really matter what awards you get. So like Harry Potter really ignited the UK film industry, and so I'd like to, my ultimate dream would be to do that again, so to make so many good British films that the British film industry is ignited again, because it's sort of dying again, because Harry Potter was great, but it was a very blockbustery, very financially viable thing. So that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to direct loads of films, and get to a point where I can just direct what I like, just not ever have to worry about money or funding or anything like that. Have enough money in the company that will have enough respect in the film community that you just get funding for whatever you want to make, and to make the film industry great. I don't know if it will happen, but I may as well dream.
So when's the film going to be released, and how can people find it?
Well, we have no idea yet. So we start filming in February. Our target to have it done by August, September next year. But it all depends on the distributors, because we haven't got a distributor yet, because we would rather make a good film and then go to them and go, look, you can have this, but 5 other people want it, rather than have them tell us what to do. We can tell them what to do to a certain extent, which is nice. It might not happen, but if we make a good film, it will. So it just depends on when they want to release it, because obviously there's like, you can't release in summer because all the big blockbusters are out. So I hope late 2016, early 2017. That if it gets past that, it'll be a little bit like, come on, hurry up, kind of thing. Yeah. But hopefully cinemas, and we've already had some offers for cinemas, and we've had some offers for video online demand, that kind of thing. So yeah, both, hopefully. It will definitely be in cinemas, because if we don't get cinema distribution, we're going to hire out cinemas and sell tickets ourselves. So it'll be in cinemas somewhere.
How does it feel meeting all the people that support you?
Amazing, really great. And what's lovely is there's also people who I've seen loads of times who keep coming back to stuff that we do, which is really lovely, like recognising faces and like, I've seen you somewhere. It's lovely because they're just like I said about numbers. Like it's nice that there's a big number there, but you don't ever see the individual. And so like it's amazing that what I do is I've met like thousands of really lovely people. And what I've done or we've done is somehow helped some of those people and made those people happy, even in like a tiny way. That's made them happy on one day or something. And it's just lovely to see, like even on Twitter, you see like faces and at names and just profile pictures, and it doesn't really mean anything. And you see a physical person who likes you. Like I said, I didn't grow up with that. And you see these people who are like a queue of people who are just like, I like you as a person. And I think you're a cool person. That's just so humbling and so weird and so lovely. So it's just amazing.
When me and Megan were little, we used to make our own movies as well. Really embarrassing.
So no, that's awesome. I mean, mine were just utter
As well.
Yeah, but that's the best way to learn. Are we not recording anymore?
I'm still recording.
Okay, cool.